As you may have already heard, sometime in the wee hours of Sunday morning, some asshole broke into Governor Josh Shapiro's house while he and his family were asleep there and their pets, and set the place on fire with Molotov cocktails, apparently wielding a hammer, which he said later to the police he planned to use on the governor himself if he had run into him. Now, we don't know for a fact what this guy's motives were, other than he hated Josh Shapiro. He's told him that much at least. And police seem to think, there's some mental health issues. You think, really? Doesn't take fucking Sigmund Freud to figure that one out. But anybody that breaks into somebody's house to burn it down and attack them with a hammer isn't right in the fucking head. That's not a rational thought. It just isn't. Rational people don't do that. So clearly, yes, he has some kind of mental health issues. But I think, there's bigger issue here, right? One, he's attacking a political figure, okay? And we on the left should, if we don't, always condemn violence in all of its forms, unless you're protecting yourself against violence, of course. But self-defense, totally fine. But attacking other people because you don't like them or you don't like their politics, it's not okay. It's not. Besides the fact that it's illegal, it's immoral and stupid, and largely we have to think about it from the left. It's also counterproductive to what we say, right? We're supposed to be the side of compassion for everyone. Everyone gets a chance. And so violence has no place in that mindset. It just doesn't, except for self-defense, of course. But we know that the other side doesn't think that way. They love violence. They being what's left of the so-called Republican Party. In other words, the party of Trump, the fascist Nazi American Party. Love violence. And we don't know if this guy was a MAGA or anything yet. We don't know what his political leanings were, except for he was attacking a Democratic governor who happens to be Jewish. Why he hates him, we don't know. But apparently he does. So we can probably assume he's not a Jewish Democrat. Safely. Why he chose to attack Shapiro and his family, we don't know yet. So I want to caution. I actually made an earlier video a few minutes ago, and I was like, no, I got to talk about that. I don't want to assume, that we know what this guy's motives were, other than obviously he's fucking deranged. But violence has no place. Now, what we can assume safely is that Trump is not going to come out and condemn this attack the way he should have already done, right? Should have been immediate yesterday. An immediate statement he should have called Shapiro first and then made a public statement on camera. That's not going to happen. He's not going to condemn the violence because he loves violence. So does MAGA. They love it. They love war, they love guns, they love violence. And that's not okay. Trump has a history of inciting violence, including January 6, 2021, when he incited an insurrection. Was going to go there himself if the Secret Service hadn't stopped him. He would have. Although he would have been in the back because he's a fucking pussy. Apologies to all the actual pussies out there in the world. Which some of them certainly much tougher than him. He is always been a friend of other people doing violence for him. He's incited it forever. He pardoned all those Jan 6 assholes, even the violent ones who attacked police that they say they are always behind, back in the blue, except for when they're, in the way of him trying to hold on to power, in which case just fuck them, kill them all and hang the vice president. That was his plan. Certainly the plan of the people who carried it out. And he pardoned them all. So we know he doesn't care if his side uses violence. What we have to do on the correct side of history is refrain from doing so. Refrain from retaliating, refrain from initiating any kind of violence. And that includes, I want to say, that includes vandalism. As much as I love watching a Tesla burn, don't get me wrong, it does give me a certain thrill. It's not productive. And I question whether any of the Teslas that were burning were actually done by protesters, but we may never know who started those. What we need to do is make sure that we're not involved in that, because that's exactly what right-wing governments like Trump's want us to do, because then that gives them an excuse to crack down on us, declare martial law, and throw the Constitution completely out of the window. And then all bets are off at that point. So we must be peaceful, keep our heads, because they don't know how to do that. We do. So use your noggin, as my mom would say, and stay in the game. All right, guys. Fuck on. Live fearless.